Hi, Amy Basadas with continuation of Meraki movements, and we're working on ankle strengthening. So not everybody can put the band around their ankle or their foot, so this is another way that you can potentially do that and not have to worry about being able to reach up all the way by your feet. So go ahead and you're going to act like you're kind of fishing, and you're going to put the band around the toe of your foot. And sometimes it takes a little bit. And then you're going to step on the band that way. And then sometimes, like you just saw, it'll kind of move. And the goal is to try to have the band up around like the toe box of your shoe. So you can either maneuver it how Jess just did, or you can just go back to the fishing part and get it that way. So go ahead and straighten your legs. And Jess is nice and stable here on the bench. And going back to that core stabilization, that pelvic floor to the belly, belly to the back, shoulder blades to the spine. And then keeping the knees forward so they're not moving, and she's just taking the toe out. And then you're gonna feel that in the whole outside aspect of the leg. And then work up to however many reps that I recommended for you. And then we're gonna work on the inside of the leg. So same thing with the fishing, getting it so it's closer to the toe box. Yep. And so it kind of wandered down a little bit. Yeah, so, and if you're struggling by reaching forward, also uncross the legs. Yeah, and then just go ahead and start from the beginning. Yeah, bend in that knee. Good. And then you can kind of step on it and then have that tension.
There you go.
Yeah, good. And then straighten the leg, cross over at the ankles. Nice and stable on the bench, keeping your core engaged. And so having this leg on top, crossing over, also helps to keep you from turning that bottom knee. So we're just gonna take these toes and bring it in. So that way you're working the inner part of the lower leg. And then that helps to give you the resistance. Can you go a little bit more? There you go. So really work to push as full range as you can. Jess is doing a great job of staying controlled with that movement as well. And then we've got the outside, we've got the inside. Now we need to work on the front part of the lower leg. Yep, and we're gonna cross it over to the figure 4. So you have your ankle on the opposite knee. And then the pull of the band is going to be as much in line as possible with that foot. And then she's gonna draw the toes up towards the knee. Yes, and then you're gonna feel that in the whole front of that lower leg. Also you might also get a stretch in your right hip as you're in this position as well. Good. And so we've gotten the outside, we've gotten the inside, we've gotten the front. Now we need to work on the back part. And I like to have people do heel toe rocks. So you're gonna have your feet about hip width apart. Again, keeping that core nice and engaged, and you're just rocking on your heels and your toes. It's gonna be that trick. So I want those shoulders to stay stacked on the hips. Yep, extra squeeze of the glutes. Correct, good job. So when people get tired, or if they're not engaging their core, they'll start to have an exaggerated rock, and they'll start leaning a lot forward, and then bringing their hips back, forward, and their shoulders back whenever they go on their toes. It is unstable, but as you rock, this is actually the movement of your ankle and your foot while you're walking safely. So it's really important to go as high up on your toes as possible and to go up high on your heels as possible so that you can really work that range and have that carryover. Now keep in mind, you might need something to have for balance. You can have your hand on a wall or on some stable surface, but just make sure you're not pushing on it to help to take off that leverage. I want you to really take responsibility for as much range as you possibly can. When it gets easy with 30 and 2 feet, then I'm gonna have you go to one leg, and then we'll progress it from there. So I'll just flip this over. And when you're on one leg, you're going to wanna definitely have something for a little bit of a balance. Yeah, and you can see that she's not able to necessarily go up as high with the one leg, but that is okay. Also, on that leg that's elevated, I want you to make sure that you keep it on the one side so you're not crossing over symmetry. So go ahead and face that way. You can have this side so you can still hold on to it. Yeah. So, yep. So sometimes people's foot and the back will cross over this way. I want you to make sure that you keep it, keep, again, that space between your feet and your hips directly in line with your hips. And again, working up to 30 of those with a single leg. There will be a burn. If you start to lose your form, remain honest with it and smooth it out. If you're still not holding form, then you can finish that rep scheme out with both feet and just take a break and then continue to work on it until you're able to increase it to that level. Thank you for your time.